Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today.
Hey guys, it's Professor Presbury back with another episode of Hey Professor, the show where we talk about everything you want to know about allied health, health administration, healthcare administration, and healthcare management. I am Professor Presbury, of course, and the topic of today is saying no to your boss, right? A weird one. You're like, what? You didn't say you're not supposed to say no. So I want to kind of really make a caveat by that, right? The episode's called Saying No to Your Boss, but it was also called Standing Your Ground, right? And I want to preface this, I need to understand, right? When I say standing your ground, when I say saying no to your boss, I always mean in the most respectful way possible, right? And this really depends on your level, okay? I'm going to talk to you about levels as well in this episode, right? If you are a person in an entry-level position, chances are you can't say no to your boss. That's called insubordination. You can get fired for that, right? If you are a person in a level of management, you still really can't say no to your boss. See, it gets weird, right? But you really still can't say no to your boss, but you can disagree respectfully. And I think at any level, you can make your feelings about something known, as long as it's done correctly. And most times your boss will be okay. And that becomes more okay as you get higher up, because the expectation upon you is that you will have something to say about things, and you should. You know, you're a supervisor, you're a manager, you're a director, you're a VP. It should not just be, okay, boss, and then you shuffle off. You know what I mean? Okay, boss. You know what I mean? Nah. Like, you should definitely have something to say about things. The higher you go, you should be able to give feedback and have that kind of conversation and that rapport with your boss, where your input is still respected. So kind of circling back, starting from the from the bottom. If you are a traditional employee, right, and you are not management at all, you're not supervisor level at all, and you want to say no, here's how you go about it. You don't. No, I'm kidding. No. So, I would say if I'm in a position, I'm in a regular working position, after I was given a objective, after I was given a directive, after I was given a assignment, and I've done this in my own, life as well, I'll kind of go back to my desk and I sit there and I mull it over, and then I send the email to my boss and say, hey, listen, did you have a few seconds to speak? I had some thoughts regarding the assignment that was given to me. They say yes. I'm making my way down there. Say, hey, listen, always closed door conversation. Listen, as a boss myself, as someone who is in a position of authority, you want to feel like the conversation that you're having is private, for one, but you also want to feel like the employee that you're dealing with respects the levels, right? And the reason I say that is because I've had people show out, in the past, where they try to put on a show for other employees and try to seem tough and this and that. If your boss feels like you're being tough, or feels like you're trying to stunt on them, as a boss, I have seen people show out. I've seen people show off. I've seen people, for lack of better terms, I call it showing you. You know what I mean? It's a old saying, oh, you just gonna show you. You know what I mean? It's an old saying. So I've had people say that, right, where they come in and they wanna put on a show. You know what I mean? You want to make sure that your boss knows that you're not putting on a show. You're not here for theatrics. You're not here to disrespect them. You're just here to kind of be like, hey, I kind of was thinking about this, or why is this that? Most bosses will be fine with you kind of coming in and saying, hey, boss, I had a question about this, or could you explain a little further what it is that you mean, or can you explain what it is that you're looking for, that you're hoping that I should do? As long as you do that in a really like a closed quarter environment, closed door, low voice, very respectful. Hey, boss, I was interested. So I know that you said to send it to that person, but I was wondering, does that make sense? If only because this and that. A lot of bosses will respect that and be like, okay, well, no, I hear you. So I'm going to reinforce and reiterate to you that this is what we're doing. This is what I expect. Okay, no, that's fine. I just wanted to kind of know and just kind of pick your brain and make sure that we're good. You know what I mean? And then that's kind of how you leave it. If you are in a management position, if you're in a supervisor position, director position, the conversation is a little bit different, right? Same, and honestly, at that level, you really don't even have to send an email. You just pop by. Hey, did you have a second? Yeah, sure. Can I close this? You mind if I close this door? Yeah, okay. Close the door. Hey, so, great idea, by the way. No, you don't get it. Great idea, but I had some thoughts. No, you just say, hey, look, so I know you said, X, Y, Z, but I was thinking, what if we did this? And my rationale is really, if you look at this person's history, when they're given an assignment, they don't really respond well. I think it's better that we give it to this person. This is way too important an assignment for us to give to him. He's just gonna mess it up. Don't you think we should give it to this person? Or like whatever you think. Let's just spitball it. And I've had conversations like that where your boss is kind of bouncing things off you and you're bouncing off them. At that level, at the level of manager, at the level of director, your input is valued. Your knowledge, your experience is valued. And most bosses, 90% of bosses, especially at that level, will say, absolutely no. What is it that you want to? Okay, no, yeah, I like what you're saying, and they may go with it and they may not. And let me tell you right now, you can really, and this is on the other side, so it's not really the topic of this conversation, but I had a supervisor under me and we worked extremely well together. And I said to her, I said, look, I value everything you say, but this is how we're going to handle it. And I have my own reason for that. And if if that person feels inclined to share it with you, then they're going to share it with you. But what you'll find is that it's okay to kind of say no, at that level, say, hey, what about this, right? And if you're really adamant, and I've been that too, hey, look, I know you said X, Y, Z, but I got to tell you, I don't really agree with that. I think it should be this. Again, whatever you want to do is cool. Obviously you're the boss. I'll do whatever you say. But my thought process is that that's a bad idea, and here's why. I've even taken it a little further. I know we need to circle back about this. I really have to be adamant. Again, last time I'll say it, and then I'll move on. You know what I mean? And I'm basically like giving them like, hey, just with my knowledge and my experience, these are some red flags. These are some things that we should be concerned about taking this path, taking this route. And then they'll say, oh, okay, and usually it's like, okay, well, guess what, Javon, we're still doing it. That's fine, because I made them aware. I've had conversations like that, and it's okay. It's respectable. I've even had conversations and this is important too, when I say disagreeing with your boss, right? Sometimes things happen, right? And people get in their feelings, right? Even at work, it happens. What I mean is, a lot of organizations get really uptight when Joint Commission come around, CMS, the government, anybody who's coming through with some level of authority comes through. Everybody get uptight. Everybody gets, what I'm saying, get this button, that top button. You know what I mean? They get real uptight. And what happens is a lot of people, if something is miscommunicated or they think that you did something wrong, they can take it out on you, or they can speak to you on the level that they usually don't, or a tone that they usually don't. I one time was leaving the area where I worked, in a major metropolitan city, and I was going over the bridge, and I got a call from my boss, just flipping out, why would you do this, or why would you not do this, and didn't you think to do this, and we need to have a serious talk about the fact that you didn't do this, and like literally just going off, right, for like a good 10 minutes. Now I say 10 minutes, people think that's short, but just imagine getting yelled at for 10 minutes, right? And I was like, okay. So I let him talk, and I kind of was like, okay, so I want to kind of circle back. I understand that emotions are heightened right now, but I want to point out to you this, and this. Do you remember that? Oh, well, yeah. Okay, well, do you also remember this conversation? Yeah. So I understand why you're upset, and I understand that you are, but I think that we should circle back tomorrow and have a conversation about this when calmer heads have prevailed. And that's how I handle that. And again, like I said, I came back in the next day when that person was calm, and I rebutted their conversation. I rebutted this, and I explained to them why they were wrong. This person was my boss. And here's the thing, you gotta understand, it's okay for your boss to be wrong. At that level, you guys are gonna have that conversation. It's not, and I've had things too where I had to defend myself, where look, it's, let's say, two sides, right? On one hand, I'm like, never tell your boss no, because they're your boss. On the other hand, I'm like, also defend yourself, stick up for yourself when you get to that level, because you're not a pushover either. You are a person that's input, and that person's history and skills are valued, and that's perfectly okay. So it's okay to really go over those things. Again, guys, thank you. This one's getting a little bit long. This is Professor Presbury, and thanks for watching. Bye.
Intelligence is not enough. Intelligence plus character. That is the true goal of education.